It's Sunday. You have 3 questions. Hang on. It's Sunday. You have 3 questions. I have 3 answers. And I'm going to get to it. And it's a William Jefferey special. How you doing, by the way? His first question, what do you think of the latest rumours surrounding that Ben Affleck will be getting his standalone Batman movie and will possibly be directing it as well? I'm all for it. We kind of figured there was going to be a standalone Batfleck movie, and considering the decent actor that Affleck has become from what I've seen in recent years, I think he'll do this justice. He'll be the first Batman actor to be directing himself, but considering what this man has done with Fargo and The Town, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be doing this, and I think he'll make a first-class job of it. And having seen the recent Batman v Superman trailer, I'm digging it. Question 2. What do you think of the rumours surrounding Tyrese Gibson and Chris Pine might be in line for the Green Lantern movie in 2020? Chris Pine. I can't see Chris Pine being Hal Jordan or any particular incarnation of the Green Lantern, because it's difficult with some actors because of the fact of what they're doing with certain movie roles, like he's doing in Star Trek, being James Kirk. I don't know. Tyrese Gibson, this guy is going full-on campaign mode to become Green Lantern, even going so far as being on a blue screen and having the green suit animated on him. And considering what a phenomenal actor this guy already is, I say give the role to him. No auditions, no fighting out with other actors, just give him this role. It's tailor-made for him. I hope that answers your question. And we get to the third question. What do you think of Jared Leto as the Joker? Visual-wise, it's fresh, it's different. I'm kind of glad they're trying to distance themselves from the Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger interpretation. There is a little bit of the Jack Nicholson look in it, but then I heard the guy speak as the Joker, and all I could hear was this. You know how I got these scars? Why so serious? It just spoke so much of Heath Ledger. Now, do not take this as offense in any way, because Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker in 2008's The Dark Knight is absolute gold standard, and he deserved the Oscar win, even though the poor guy never got to actually live to see that. But I think one problem, it's not just Hollywood in particular, it's a lot of TV studios have this perception, because one person does this movie or this role in this set specific way, therefore everybody's got to be a trend follower and gravitate to what they do. Now, Random DCE and myself will never fully agree on everything, but he said something to the effect of, don't copy what this person has done, find your own voice, find your own identity, so that then you can distinguish yourself away from what that person has done, so therefore that you can actually stand alone and not just be a shadow, if you will, because everybody seems to have this mindset. When they go to do a comic book adaptation, we've got to copy Chris Nolan's Batman Begins. Where does it say in any law guideline for when you're doing an adaptation, you must all go to the Nolan Bat interpretation? I mean, now, it's almost like doing this mindset that, let's just say, for example, in the future we get a live-action Shadow the Hedgehog movie. Let's just go there for a second. Imagine we get Shadow interrogating a Robotnik goon. I'm not going to say Eggman because most of us grew up with Robotnik and whatnot. And Shadow just happens to be holding this guy up by his ankle over a rooftop. And the guy goes, I didn't do anything, I swear. And you hear Shadow say these lines, swear to me. You think, no. Just no. I mean, they tried doing a little bit of that in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie by trying to go to places with this kind of really dark and Batman Begins aura with the writing and whatnot, and you don't need to go there with that. I mean, look what they did with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Iron Man. You know, it actually looked like it was fun to be a superhero, because the guy, alright, he had some things that he had to address in his life, but he was having fun actually being Iron Man. That is the thing that a lot of movie producers and directors have forgotten, is we must base this concept off this one. Yeah, but then people will just look at what you're doing and think, yeah, but you're doing the same concept that this director did, but he did it better. And I know I said something about Kung Fury in a previous episode. This is what happens when, you know, the media machine feeds us the same thing year after year after year, where we're told, oh, this is because of market research, you've got to handle it. It's like, did you ever stop to think about asking the audience of what we want? Don't assume, because you know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me. They show the trailer for Kung Fury of what we could expect. They give it the kick. They give the potential fans the Kickstarter link. For Kung Fury, they raised $650,000. And they were able to produce that 31-minute short that in those 31 minutes was much more fun and much more enjoyable to watch than most gritty, realistic, either superhero or action movie alike, because this is what happens when you feed the audience the same thing year after year. The audience will rebel because we will not be told what to do. We want movies that felt fun again. We want movies that, in essence, reminded us of our childhood in the 80s and the early 90s, where things weren't so uber serious all the time. Things were fun, a little bit lighthearted. Alright, in Kung Fury, the idea of Kung Fury's senior police partner being chopped in half with a kung fu katana. Okay, not so lighthearted, but it's just the way that it was written, the way it was played out. It's like, it's not taking itself so seriously. It's actually having fun with it. That is what needs to happen. That is what needs to be done with cinema. We've done the whole gritty realism, uber seriousness. Leave it in 05 and 06 where it started and leave it there. We've had enough. And this is the exact same problem I've got with the current James Bond movie series. Like, you're basing it off Jason Bourne. There's your first mistake. James Bond needs to be James Bond with the charm, charisma, the nice little quips, tongue-in-cheek kind of shtick, and the gadgets and the cheesiness. People seem to have this perception that if you take cheesiness out of something, it's instantaneously going to be better. No, it leaves it dull, lifeless, and boring. Just look at the 2006 Miami Vice movie. I know I keep coming back to that as an example, but compare a Miami Vice episode from back in the day and then compare it to that piece of garbage from 06, and I'm like, what? And some people have even said after watching that movie, it's like, where's the real movie? You know? It's like, was that thing really it? Now, I'll give Jamie Foxx this. He played a decent Ricardo Tubbs. Because Ricardo never really did that much talking in the original series. He was always one of those characters. He never really spoke that much, but when he did say something, it made you think and it made you take note. Whereas Colin Farrell, now nothing against Colin as an actor, he's a decent actor, but he's not Sonny Crockett, he's not Don Johnson. I mean, Don Johnson had charisma, had charm, had flair, had flamboyancy. Colin comes in and just makes that character lifeless. Think of that what you will. Those have been your 3 questions for this week. You know how it works by now. Leave a question in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube or dynamicnight.com, or tweet a question to me at my Twitter link in the outro. But until next time, ask again.